This new threat I'm going to tell you about is serious. It's technology driven and it's about to ramp up. And you know what? You remember that movie Independence Day? It came out in 1996 with Will Smith and the aliens. Do you remember all the people, when the alien ships came over the major cities, all the people were looking up and cheering and waving and clapping? They were all cheering until the death ray came down and killed them all. That's about what we're going to see with this embrace of technology. If we don't have cautions to protect ourselves, this could just soon take over our lives. Social media is a good example of this. It's convenient, it's a way to keep in touch, but you become the product. They want to weaponize your communications. They want to cut you off if you say things that are wrong. And then they steal your data and they manipulate you with it. Businesses have gotten sucked in. You know, they pay for advertising on the platform and then they say the wrong thing and get deplatformed and they lose all of that advertising and all that money they built an audience with. And the rules are shifting constantly. There's these hidden terms of service that they'll change. There are new areas where that's going to happen and it's going to be much worse. Think about one of these on your computer. I want you to go to the Microsoft Terms of Service for Office 365. And I'm going to read you a simple quote that they put up front. They say, to the extent necessary to provide the services to you and others, to protect you and the services, and to improve Microsoft products and services, you grant to Microsoft a worldwide, royalty-free intellectual property license to use your content, for example, to make copies of, retain, transmit, reformat, display, and distribute via communication tools your content on the services. Now, do you ever wonder what Microsoft is going to deem as hate speech? What if you type in the words on a word processor, men can't bear children? Are they watching that closely? It's creepy enough that they can look at and copy everything on your computer, which is what the terms of service say. Imagine if all your Word documents or emails were made to disappear because they said it had content we disagree with. It's all right there in black and white. Very broad terms like if you threaten harm or if you're misleading. Well, who determines that? If you type in, I don't think COVID's a real problem, that's misleading, they cut you off. Your life is on your computer. That's bad. But what's coming is even worse. This threat is about money. Already, you know that you can be debanked. Chase just closed the business account of Dinesh D'Souza without any real warning or explanation. Now, you know Dinesh. He made films like Obama's America and Hillary's America. They were critical of leading Democrats. Guess what? He had a campaign finance violation. Yeah, he did it, but normally you get a slap on the wrist. Not Dinesh. He had to go to prison for that. Look what they've done to gun companies and what PayPal and others have closed accounts of those who express opinions contrary to the new orthodoxy. Or Venmo, when people were trying to send money to Palestinians for relief with all this going on in Gaza, they cut them off if they disagree with you. But at least in these cases, you can take the money out. It's your money. One of the attractions of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is that you're anonymous. It's a place to put your money and nobody really knows that it's yours. There's a problem, yeah, it's vulnerable. They could tax it, and they're working on that right now, and every time you do a transaction, it could be a capital gain or loss. Governments are wary of Bitcoin. China has cracked down recently on Bitcoin, and they dropped the prices from $60,000 for a Bitcoin to $30,000, boom, like that, because China says we're going to crack down on mining. Governments are wary of Bitcoin. Some people believe that the main reason for any crackdown is to stop competition to government money. But what I'm going to tell you about is even worse than that. China is developing a cryptocurrency, and the Federal Reserve is pushing for a digitized currency as well. Now, it sounds good. It'd be convenient. It's modern. It's sophisticated. We told you about Ant Group and Alibaba. We discussed that in episode 107. We talk about how China wants to use their new digital yuan in the Belt and Road Initiative. And they want to displace the US dollar, and that's part of it. Part of it is they want the tracking capability of this currency and the data capture. Really, they're looking for control.